Wow, shocking news from the Indianapolis Colts. It has been reported that the Indianapolis Colts have officially released linebacker Shaquille Leonard. Wow. Talk about a surprise. Talk about just out of the blue releasing here for the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, my goodness, guys. Like, this came out of nowhere. This came after Shaquille Leonard made a post thanking the Indianapolis Colts and everything like that. It's pretty wild and absolutely crazy time on a Tuesday that the Indianapolis Colts decide to make this decision to release Leonard. And I want to pull up what he had posted. And Jim Irsay also has posted about it. So there's a couple different things here with this news. First off, I want to start with what Shaq posted. Then I'll get to Jim Irsay's comments here in just a minute here. By the way, shout out to everybody who's in here. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, so that you're in the turn on the notification bell so that you are in the loop when we drop new content. But Shaq Leonard released by the Indianapolis Colts. This comes just a few minutes ago, according to a lot of different people. Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, all these different people reporting this. So here's what Shaquille Leonard posted early, like a little bit ago. So 1:38, so about 20 minutes ago, Shaquille Leonard makes this post. It says, Indy, I thank you. And it says, Indy, I want to thank you for accepting me and my family with open arms. These past 6 years have been nothing but incredible. Through the good times and the bad, y'all stood by my side. I apologize for not bringing that trophy back to the 317. The energy in Lucas Oil has been nothing but amazing. And I thank you for every memory. I'm thankful to play for such an amazing fan base. I love you guys, and I wish you and the Colts, and I wish the Colts nothing but the best. Maniac out. So I think for a lot of us, we thought, is Shaq retiring, right? Because, he had the major surgery. He hasn't played up to his standards. Is it something where Shaq kind of felt like maybe he didn't have any more left in the tank? Well, we heard a little bit earlier that the Indianapolis Colts actually straight up released him. So he will be on waivers. A team will be able to, get him and bring him into the team. But I think this should come as we talked about it. I think Derek and I did about Shaquille Leonard. I think it was during the bye week, about how we felt like there's no way he can be a part of the Indianapolis Colts next year. We never thought that this would be the case where he would get cut mid-season. So this kind of comes as a shock in a lot of different ways. Move on to Jim Irsay's comments real fast. I'll put this on the screen here for you guys. So this is what Jim Irsay had to say. He just posted this about 2 minutes ago. Tough business was his caption. He says, Colts Nation will always remember the Maniac's palpable energy on the field with each tackle, interception, punch out, and fumble recovery. Off the field, he's a servant leader and assisted numerous families in both his hometown and Indianapolis community. We're thankful for Shaq and the contributions he made to our organization. We wish him and his beautiful family nothing but the best. And so, obviously, it's crazy how, and there's the news. This is something where, Shaq has expressed his frustration the last couple weeks about not being on the field as much. And now, obviously, with Zaire Franklin kind of ascending to the point that he has, and also, with what EJ Speed's been able to do, Shaq's not seeing the field probably as much as he wanted to. And we even saw again on, Sunday against the Patriots in Germany, Shaq was not being his normal self that we're used to. He was missing tackles, just wasn't playing at the level that we all expected him to play. And when you're paying him as much as you're paying him, I mean, this makes sense for the Colts financially, because when you're paying him as much as you're paying him, it's hard to justify playing him out there if he's not playing well. And so it definitely sucks for that he is getting released here. Very stunning news for the Indianapolis Colts. I'm trying to just scroll through and see everything. There's a lot here when it comes to Shaq Leonard. Let's hop to some of the comments here, because I want to see what you guys have to say about this. What's going on? How much money does that save Indy? He's easily replaceable at this point. That's a good question. I'm going to try to look into the financial aspect of it a little bit. There's been nothing. Okay, so here's a little bit of info. The team were to claim Shaq off of waivers. It would owe him $6.11 million for the remainder of this season. His contract through 2026 follows. $16.1 million was due in 2024, $19 million in 2025, 2026, $19.6 million. I'm trying to find any more Yeah, I'm trying to find any more content in terms of the actual contract that the Colts and the money the Colts will be saving. Gosh, I hate this stupid cold. Sorry, guys. It's really frustrating. But yeah, did not expect this to happen. This is a day that I'm at home, not feeling the greatest, but I had to get this news out just because of the absolute insanity of it all. There's so many different things here when it comes to Shaquille Leonard and the Indianapolis Colts. Let's keep going. This bummed me out. It's probably for the best, but dang, this team finds new ways to hurt me every season. Shaq's not even close to the player Darius was. Was there a setback during the bye week? Something I missed? Why did he get released? Guys, we've talked about this, and I think to answer maybe your question here about why he got released, I mean, we've seen the Colts and Shane Steichen. I mean, this is accountability that we haven't seen in the past from previous regimes at head coach. And, Shane Steichen's already multiple times released or bench players because they haven't performed up to the standards they need to play. We remember, obviously, Darrell Baker in week number 1 getting absolutely torched by Houston. Next week, he's a healthy scratch, or I guess 2 weeks. He doesn't play well, and then he's a healthy scratch. And then we saw Deion Jackson really struggling early on in Jacksonville. And, you look at that, and boom, he's on the street. So the Colts right now under Shane Steichen, as tough as it is, let's be honest, Shaq Leonard was not even one of the top 2 linebackers on this team this year. He's really struggling with how much you are paying him. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense for him to have a future here in Indianapolis. So it definitely sucks for that. And also, this is kind of what Kevin Bowen had said as well. He didn't get he got the sense that Colts weren't too thrilled with how Shaq was kind of complaining to the media and kind of his comments the last couple weeks. So I know there's a lot here with this, but pretty just wild stuff right now. This is what Chris Ballard had to say. Shaq is the ultimate competitor. He's been a fan favorite since he arrived as a rookie in 2018. We're incredibly grateful for his contributions to the team in the city of Indianapolis over the last 6 seasons. He will always be a valued member of the Horseshoe. So, guys, I guess just kind of looking at this for, the different players on the roster right now, definitely going to see more of EJ Speed. Definitely probably going to see more of Grant Stewart. Going to see more of these guys. And I think you need to see that because what you've seen, they've been more effective than Shaq Leonard's been this year. So, definitely sucks. And I think there was something where this is the thing I think that rubbed fans the wrong way. I think Shaq had an idea of himself that wasn't reality in certain ways. He still felt like he was the all-pro player he was. And let's be frank, he wasn't this year. He hasn't been that this year. And so wanting more playing time and then not playing up to the level when he does get more playing time, I think that rubs some fans the wrong way and probably some people in the organization as well. So definitely sucks. It is shocking. Excuse me. Sorry, you're going to have to bear with me here. Definitely a bombshell here on a Tuesday afternoon. Shaq Leonard no longer a part of the Indianapolis Colts here. A team could claim him off waivers, but they're going to owe him about $6 million. So they may wait to clear waivers and then, see what happens after that. And somebody will sign him as a free agent. So I think the reason why maybe in the middle of the season was Shaq felt like he's been very vocal about wanting more of a role. And let's be honest, with how bad he's been playing, he doesn't deserve that role in the Indian with the current state of the linebackers for the Colts. So maybe the Colts felt like in the best interest of Shaq Leonard and the Indianapolis Colts, it would make sense to mutually part ways here and give him an opportunity to maybe get some more playing time that he's looking for. And also, give the Colts, some of these other linebackers, a chance now to perform. And I even said this when we were talking about the Leonard news. What's the one position out of pretty much all of them on the defensive side that you've been able to draft probably the best? It's been linebackers. And it's not like you've drafted these guys in really even like the first 2 days for the most part. I mean, Bobby Okereke is one of the only exceptions to that rule. But, you've been able to draft some really good linebackers in day number 3. Zaire, 7th round pick, EJ Speed, a 5th round pick. So I have confidence the Colts are going to find another linebacker that's gonna play well, and and I think you feel good about your starting 2 right now. EJ Speed's very athletic as well, and he's played very well, made some impact plays, and now he gets more of a role with this team. But from a nostalgia's sake, yeah, it definitely sucks that Shaq is no longer a part of the Indianapolis Colts because, I mean, he was a guy that came in. He was a maniac, right? He came in, he made a name for himself, and he created turnovers unlike any player we've seen. And it just sucks that some injuries and some unforeseen circumstances happened. And now the Colts and Shaq Leonard have reached this unfortunate parting of ways. It's very unfortunate. So I'm going to keep looking, and hopefully there will be some more info on actually what the finances look like. But we'll see on that. I'm not 100% sure, to be completely honest with you right now, when it comes to the finances. Nobody's really said a whole lot. So as soon as I get that update, I will let you know for sure. So, yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. I'll go back through the comments there. What led into this? I kind of talked about that. I think just the disagreement, the amount you're paying him, the playing time, all that stuff, like that all kind of came into this. Yeah, great player. He was a great player, but I think the surgery showed you that he's not the player he once was, and that's unfortunate because he's only 28. So, just sucks. It really just sucks. I don't know. Here's the thing. People say you could trade him. Nobody's going to pay for that contract, guys. Like, nobody's going to pay for that contract. Teams might not even be willing to claim him off waivers because they don't want to owe him all that money. And I don't blame them. It's a ridiculous amount of money for a player that's frankly not living up to it. So I think that's why the Colts felt like they couldn't just trade him, right? So, all right. Does Eberflus reach out to Shaq? I don't know. That'd be interesting. Yeah, I think the reason why he got released as opposed to being traded, well, first off, trade deadline, but also like the Colts want to see what they have at linebacker. Shaq wants more playing time. And then also, if you were even going to try to trade him, nobody's going to trade for him. So I think those three factors contributed into that. But thank you, everybody, for the 200 people who are in here. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so that you are in the loop when I drop new content like this and the crazy content that comes out of this with this Shaq Leonard news. So, yeah. So how's everybody feeling about this? Obviously, the initial shock is big, but like, do you think this was the right move for the Colts? Or do you think this was not? Do you think the Colts should have waited? Do you think the Colts should have just seen it out? What do you think about this? Like, I understand, for me personally, like, I would have waited, but like, I understand why the Colts felt like they needed to do it, especially if Shaq was going to continue to whine and complain to the media about not getting playing time and stuff like that. So, all right. It is sad, though. It is sad, and it sucks to see the injuries take out such a great player for so many years for the Indianapolis Colts. It's tough, man. It's absolutely tough. Shaq is one of my favorites, and so it's really, really hard to see that happen. So, absolutely crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. So I feel like the majority of people are pretty like they agree like that. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, I forgot about. Thank you so much, Michael. I forgot about Sagan Alubi as well. I even said this like in the one game he played, I thought he looked better than Shaq's looked all year. So Sagan Alubi gets an opportunity here, the undrafted free agent. Him and Grant Stewart get an opportunity as those 3 and 4 linebackers now, a little bit more snaps. But yeah, if it wasn't for the contract, I maybe there's a chance that he plays, or stays. But also, I think about the frustration for him not getting as much playing time as he needed. So anyway, guys, a couple days before Thanksgiving. Well, the good thing is if there's one position the Colts can afford for this to happen, it's linebacker. They still have very good linebackers right now. They're starting to. You feel very good about. You feel pretty good about some of those other reserve guys as well. So it's as much as it's hard to say, like the Colts actually probably did a very smart thing and kind of were preparing for life after Shaq Leonard. And now it comes to a head, and they're actually still not in a terrible position with the linebackers. So yeah, just sucks. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to get on here because I saw that and I was like, what? Like that's a retirement post or that's a release post. Yeah, it's just crazy stuff, guys. Absolutely stuff. So I think you could probably add linebacker if you want to, maybe some draft needs as well, although I don't think it's a pressing need. I mean, I'm interested to see kind of how EJ Speed looks in more of an increased role here for the Indianapolis Colts, because I think he has a great opportunity now, to kind of do what Zaire did. EJ has been more of a special teams reserve guy, but now he's going to get more of an opportunity to be that number 2 backer besides Zaire Franklin out there. And so definitely looking forward to seeing him getting more opportunities, because I think if you give him more opportunities, you're going to see more of those splash plays from him. So excited to see that for him. I really do feel like the Colts have been able to get a lot out of their linebackers. So, I mean, you've seen Zaire, EJ, all these guys really step it up. And so it's kind of odd to see, like, the one player who hasn't been performing well this year in the linebacker room has been Shaq Leonard. And, so how much of that is like, that's just Shaq not being the player he once was, So we'll see. I mean, here's the thing, man. He'll be great. You say he'll be great somewhere else in a limited role. He needs to accept what his role is going to be. That's the thing. He didn't accept that with Indianapolis. I don't think he's going to sign anywhere if he's in a limited role, to be honest with you, unless he has no choice. So that's the kind of thing is like, if he just accepted that, like, he's not the player he once was, then he'd probably still be here in Indianapolis. But I feel like he still thinks he's a top 5 linebacker in the NFL. And he's just frankly not at this point. And with the contract, with the falling off of play, like, it doesn't make it hurt any less, but it makes more sense for why the Colts elected to do this now as opposed to later. So, yeah, guys, didn't expect this to happen. Like I said, a couple days here before Thanksgiving. I do wonder, was this more of a Shaq, asking to be released type of thing for the Indianapolis Colts, or was it kind of a mutual thing? I don't know what it'll be exactly like, but yeah. So want to say this. Thank you, Shaq Leonard, for the last 6 years being part of the Indianapolis Colts. You came in, broke the franchise record in tackles. He was everywhere. And it just sucks to see such a promising career kind of go down the drain in certain ways due to some injuries. The injuries suck, man. They're the worst thing about football is the injuries. If he was never got injured, I mean, if he was still out there making plays, I mean, you're talking about one of the best players potentially of all time. But here we are years later after everything, and it was a good run, but unfortunately some injuries kind of derailed him in his career. So definitely sucks for Shaq Leonard, definitely sucks for the Indianapolis Colts. But I think the good thing is there's better days ahead for this team, and hopefully better days ahead for Shaq Leonard in a new, different role with a different organization. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are overall on this news. See, there you go. Like, real fast here, and I've said it a couple times, I'll say it only one more time. People saying, why didn't you trade Shaq Leonard? I think 3 reasons why you didn't trade Shaq Leonard. Number one, nobody's going to trade for that contract. Nobody's going to trade for that contract. There's no way, with how much he's making versus how much he's actually producing. There's absolutely no way that a team's going to do that. I think that ultimately is what it comes down to, is that, and also obviously the trade deadline and stuff like that. So, and I feel like the comments have only come in the last couple weeks. So it sucks. It's very unfortunate for Shaq Leonard. And I know for Ballard, he's one of the players that Ballard took a chance on in his first early official draft with his scouts, took a chance on this linebacker in the second round. Everybody said was the worst pick in the draft. And he proved to be one of the better picks in that draft. And so definitely sucks to see his career kind of end with Indianapolis the way it did. It definitely sucks. So I'm kind of going through some of your comments. Yeah, it sucks because, like, you signed him to that deal and then some of the injuries started happening and you're kind of stuck with that deal now. So maybe the Colts felt like they just needed to get out of that deal sooner rather than later there. Yeah. Yeah, so James Boyd said, also want to make this clear for fans who may not keep up with the Colts as much as I do, because obviously this is my job, but Shaq Leonard being waived is not surprising. The timing of it is, but the outcome is not. So that definitely just sucks. It just sucks, Let's be completely real. It does suck just because we know what Shaq has been. But again, unfortunately, the cold nature of the business It doesn't matter what you did 2, 3, 4 years ago. It matters what you're doing for the organization right now. And that's unfortunately how it is. We've seen it in the past with different teams, and it's a harsh business. But again, at the end of the day, it is a business, and it's tough to see that, especially one of your most decorated players in franchise history in certain ways, and potentially could be one of your best players in franchise history if he would have stayed healthy. Definitely sucks. Definitely is a blow to them. So, guys, let me know your thoughts overall on the Shaq Leonard news here. I'm curious what your thoughts are on, the timing of the release. Do you feel like he should have been released? Do you feel like the Colts should have waited? Curious what you guys think on that front. But that will do it for this one, guys. Just wanted to hop on here for a little bit of time, kind of give an initial reaction to the Shaq Leonard news and kind of just talk about it with you guys. But, I mean, really, other than that, guys, that'll do it for this one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Like I said a couple times in the video already, if you haven't yet, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you are in the loop when I drop new content like this and when we break news just like this. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, guys, go Colts.